Hey Virgos, Island Turtle here. Welcome to BOMISpirit. This is going to be your monthly intuitive messages for Virgo. Whether you resonate with Virgo energy, you have Virgo heavy in your chart, or you came across this at another point in time and you're like, I just had to come to this reading, or it's Virgo season, whatever reason you find yourself here, welcome. There is going to be a part 2 if you do resonate with this reading and you want to go deeper. The links will be down below. You can watch on Vimeo or Patreon. There's a lot going on Patreon, so go ahead and check it out and see if you are interested in becoming a patron or not. For anybody who's new, welcome. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. I have been on a little bit of a hiatus, so I have been like slowly getting back into the groove of things if you are new. So just know that for right now, things are not necessarily how they normally are. But we're finding a new groove with things, okay? So Virgos, let's go ahead and get started. Since getting back into doing readings and channelings, they've been having me pull crystals a lot for my readings, and so I've just been kind of following that guidance. Virgo, what came through very clearly for you was moonstone. That was very clear. I don't have just a solid piece of moonstone, but I have a lot of like bracelets and things and pendants that have moonstone in them. So I actually grabbed a bracelet that I made for myself. It's my Yamaya bracelet. I've worked with her a lot in the past, and then there are times where I still I want to call on her and connect with her again. So this is my Yamaya bracelet, which does have moonstone in it. But it's interesting that of all the moonstone that I have, I wanted to grab this for you. In this bracelet, there is moonstone, mother of pearl, hawkeye, and Lemurian quartz, actually, blue Lemurian quartz. It's very oceanic. It's a very spiritual bracelet. I love that bracelet. You could be going through a period of time right now, Virgo, where maybe you're getting in tune with your own femininity, whether you're a man or a woman or however you identify. Maybe you're being called to the ocean. Maybe you're being called to Lemuria. Maybe you're being called to these motherly archetypes. It does feel a lot like there's a need to be very much nurturing yourself at this period of time. That's just kind of what I'm picking up with you innately. But let's go ahead and, get into the cards and dive deeper. I'm actually going to start today with the Herbal Astrology Oracle deck. All the decks that I use are linked below for your convenience. I used to have all of the decks I've ever used, but I think I did some cleanup. It's been a while, I don't remember, but I think I did. Anyway, Virgo, let's dive in. Getting very strong Cancer. Very, very strong Cancer energy. Not surprising with Moonstone coming through like that. It does feel like there's almost a need to be in like a high priest, high priestess energy, and more in that high priestess realm because there's such a feminine energy about you right now, or at least in your field or being recommended for you right now to be in your inner world, Virgo, so to speak. It almost feels like going deep into your own subconscious. Just feels like very deep reflection is what I'm getting with you, Virgos. Any messages or insights from my Virgos at this time? Messages of support, messages of love, messages of healing and truth and guidance. Am I taking this? No. Let's see here. Ooh. Oh, excuse me. A lot of throat energy coming through for you as well. Not the card to come out that I would expect. We have Ginseng with Magician, 40 breaking down to a 4. You can tell already what this card is about. Has a Uranian and Jupiter energy and association with it. I feel a lot of life-giving force trying to come through here for you. It feels like you're not in this energy right now. It feels like you want to be. I feel like this is an energy you can move into after you are in these kind of deep subconscious waters of yourself that you're exploring. But for right now, it almost feels like it's a time for inaction, for non-action. I don't know why I said inaction. It's like, I don't even think that's a word. Right now, you're in a place of non-action. It does feel like even you could be going through a little bit of like an awakening sort of an energy, especially with Uranus coming through here. There's something like from deep within yourself that wants to come out. But in order for that to happen, you need to not be doing anything right now. You need to be within. You need to be exploring the self. You need to be in quiet space. You need to be in isolation space. It's almost like this should really be in reverse for you. And then, when you're done with that, you can come into this space. It almost feels like a coming into awareness of your power, coming into an awareness of your capability is what that feels like. But for right now, I feel like you're really more here. That's really what that feels like to me, that you're really more in this space, and then the wheel will turn when it's the right time. Honestly, I know, but that's how these things go. When it's the right time, the wheel will turn. You will feel like you're full of life again, and you will have a new perspective. Yeah, thank you. New perspective and new sight on your own power, your own capability, how to really go about doing something. Again, definitely feels a little bit like an awakening energy for my Virgos here, but but I keep feeling that moonstone very strongly. Just take this time to be within. I mean, it's repetitive, but that's just that's the guidance. Take this time to be within. Should we read from the deck? I don't think we should. I don't think we need to, but I felt like it, so I pulled the book. Yeah, master manifester, boundless energy, potential resourcefulness, expansion in the upright, and reversed, untapped talent, lack of action, opportunities missed, disbelief in innate powers. Yeah, I feel like you're really just getting in touch with your own power and awakening to a new sense of power within yourself. And so for right now, it's a time of non-action. It seems very clear. Let's go ahead and pull some tarot cards for you. I'm going to do the glow in the dark tarot. I actually don't think that is linked below. I think I keep meaning to, and I keep like not doing it. It could be down there though. I don't remember the last time I did it. But anyway, Virgos, let's keep going. Let's stay on track here. There we go. Your natural element is earth, for those who really resonate with Virgo energy. And I do feel like that would help you and support you at this time. But I keep feeling the water though. I keep feeling the need for water, for rivers, for spiritual baths, for the ocean. Lean into the water element a little bit. It'll help you a lot at this time. If you have any like water signs in your life, like people who are very, very watery, even if they're not necessarily a water sun sign, if they just have that energy of water and like deep emotion or very intuitive or empathic or emotional or whatever, I would really spend a lot of time around them at this time. I feel like feels like they would be very soothing for you. There is something that wants to come through regarding the throat, though. Keeping it clear. I feel like this is really about that awareness of coming into like what you're really capable of, what your true power really is, needing to be honest with yourself about it, needing to come to terms with that. Any messages or insights for Virgo? Not surprised. High Priestess coming out as your first card, Virgo. Like I said, High Priestess mode is where you really should be right now. It's just really clear. Be in your inner world, be in your water, like really be able to, they're really emphasizing the subconscious, like to pull something out, which really means to become aware of something you're not conscious of within yourself. That's really what that's coming through as. You can even see this as shadow work, but it just feels like spending time with self, getting honest with self, communing with self and spirit. It's beyond hermiting. It's beyond hermiting. Anything else for my Virgos? Interesting. This card doesn't want to get picked up. With the High Priestess, we now have the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is very earthly. It is your natural element. King of Pentacles is the master of the earthly plane. They can manage the 10 of Pentacles. With the King of Pentacles always comes the 10. That's how I see it. That's not an explicit tarot reading rule. It's just from my personal experience of reading tarot all these years. That's what I feel and have seen with the King of Pentacles. Someone who can manage a legacy. Some of you are reflecting on this. because thank you, because you need to gain balance. And we do have the Queen of Pentacles. Literally, I said balance and I looked down and it was like, oh, Queen of Pentacles at the bottom, the King and Queen of Pentacles. There is a need to find balance within yourself here, Virgo. This is why getting into your water is so important. I feel like there's a lot that you have established or have had your hands in terms of the material plane, in terms of your legacy, in terms of work, in terms of money, household, things you can tangibly put your fingers on, or things that hold you up in your life. And actually, I would say a lot of you, this involves other people. Okay. There is a need to step back because there's a need to balance a sense of purpose with all these things. Why are you doing all these things? Why have you been doing all these things? Some of you have been in this energy of wanting to expand, wanting to build up your legacy, your foundation, or maybe even just money and finances, but really build up the physical container of your life and how you experience the physical reality, almost to have more lushness around it, is kind of more abundance, really is how that's feeling to me. But you got to understand why. That's where the High Priestess comes in. There still should be this very like pure intention behind it. Are you doing it simply because you just want money? Are you doing it simply because you just want the nice life, which is fine, but just like really get into like why that is. Which again, it's not wrong. It's not wrong to want those things. I don't want to say it. Balance it with integrity. Thank you. Balance it with integrity. Balance it with your own divinity. You can have all those things, but you're still going to want to feel fulfilled in it, which means having a piece of yourself, your sense of living, what gets you out of bed in the morning, what makes you feel happy, right? You can have wealth. You can have a lot of materials. That doesn't mean that's going to make you happy, right? Right. But there's this need to bring your magic into it, which again, spending time with yourself, you're going to get very clear on what your magic is, what your capability is, what your sense of fulfillment, like what does that look like for you? And then you can really balance that out with your physical plane. But again, that is why the Queen of Pentacles is here, because the Queen of Pentacles brings the water. Okay. Anything else for my Virgos? I feel like I'm getting a whole second group of you, Virgos, so hang in there with me. I read for a lot of people. I read for a lot of groups. So I do get a lot of different messages for people. So you need to have your own discernment as to which messages are for you. But I suddenly got this group of this collective I'm reading for, that whether this is you or someone you're dealing with, I'm just going to say it's you for the sake of argument, but keep in mind it could be someone else. There's this desire to become the King of Pentacles versus the first group I was talking about, where you kind of have already been that. And it's almost like, let's rein it in. let's temper this with a little more femininity. Let's temper this with a little bit more water, a little bit more wisdom, a little bit more divinity, authenticity, spirituality, a little bit more of your soul, right? Where the second group that I'm picking up on, it's almost like you want to elevate into the King of Pentacles for other people. Like, this is starting to feel very masculine, which makes sense. King of Pentacles is masculine energy. It's this feeling of, I want to be the provider for a family. I want to be this provider for someone I care about. I want to be the provider for this community. Like, I'm getting that vibe with the second group. So keep in mind that could be you, or it could be someone who wants to be that for you. All right. Oh, Lovers at the bottom. Also speaking to that harmony from group 1. But let's continue. Any other messages or insights for Virgo? Wheel of Fortune, not surprised. Hold on. Oh, so hard for me to bend over. There's Temperance. Okay. Ow. I still got a little pain from the surgery, so bending over is like not conducive to that. But anyway. And there's the tempering, there's the balance, and that will turn the wheel. It's very clear, right? Even from your very first card, I feel like you're here. I feel like you're in the space of isolation, the space of rediscovering what your true sense of fulfillment is and what that looks like and what would actually make you happy, and something you can incorporate into building up a legacy for yourself, into building up maybe, and I feel like a lot of you, it's literally just wealth. Like, you want a lush life, and there's nothing wrong with that, and we can all have that. We can. There is a way to have that. You don't need a lot to have a lush life. You don't need to earn a lot, quote unquote, to have a lush, abundant, comfy life. You don't. And I think that's the trick that's like part of the programming. But anyway, when you get reconnected with that true sense of self and intention and mission and purpose and all these things, then the wheel will turn, right? But that's about you coming into balance with it. There's also a strong divine timing component that I'm getting here, Virgo, and that's kind of what I already mentioned before. All of this will turn in the right time because it's all about you gaining balance within yourself and reconnecting to that true part of you. And then you can bring that back to the table. Now, if you're more in group 2, where there's I want to rise to the occasion and be a king of pentacles in the world for a family, for another person, or for a community, yes, you can do that, but in the right time. When things are like fertile ground is almost what I'm getting with that. When things are primed for it, when things are ready for it, beyond yourself. Because especially if you're trying to do this for someone else or other people, that means more than just you has to be ready to experience that and for others to receive you in that. Right? Right. Very interesting reading, Virgo. All right, see what other final cards want to come out, and then we're going to move on to part 2. Where we're going to get deeper. The cards are like, some of the cards got a lot to say. They're like spitting at me. Anything else for Virgo? Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm not taking all of these. Okay. Okay. Thank you. What did I say? They had a lot to say, right? Interesting. They're reminding me of the throat chakra. This is also why you need to spend some time alone. We're going to get into it. So we have the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles coming out and landing on the High Priestess. You could be dealing with Gemini. You could have Gemini in your chart. Just Gemini energy came in really strong. Remember, we do still have the King of Pentacles as well next to this High Priestess energy. So it looks like this on my board. King, Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, and the High Priestess here. I suddenly got a third group. We also have the Knight of Pentacles, but it came out in reverse on Temperance. This is part of the energy that wants to be tempered out, which makes sense, and we'll get into why that is. But these two energies, I just got a group of you where all of this is also surrounding commitment, being committed to a certain person or not, which means getting into commitment or leaving commitment. It's going to be different for everybody. But there's definitely a group of you where that's a huge component of it. We literally have a true pair of a King and Queen of Pentacles and the Queen, which is it's actually a partner card, parent card with the divorcee widow card. So literally like independent versus involved with a family or people that need to be taken care of around the High Priestess. Oh, thank you. Again, who are you in all of this? So coming back to what I mentioned before, right? Where it's like, yes, you can build up your life. Yes, you can have a comfortable life. And yes, you can build up your legacy. And you can have all those things in the material world, but there still needs to be a very pure, authentic version of you showing up to the table, right? Who are you behind the Queen of Pentacles? This feels like you confronting yourself, which is what I already said. It's about getting into your subconscious and really digging stuff out from down below, right? But you challenging yourself in, who am I beyond the material plane? Who am I in truth? The Queen of Swords is also my minor to major High Priestess cards. I'm also not surprised they're coming out together like this in a reading. What I mean by that is, for anybody who's new to tarot, there are certain minor arcana like the aces and the aces, the swords, the cups, the pentacles, the wands, and there are the majors. And there are some cards that are like sister cards, like matching the energy of a major. So like Hermit is usually a reflection of the Four of Swords. While Hanged Man, actually, now that I think about it, is really a version of the Four of Cups. Now that I think about it, interesting. I literally didn't see that before. So when that happens, especially when you get them out in a reading, I feel like I'm teaching tarot right now. The minor to the major, you got a Four of Swords and Hermit. It means there is some alignment that is happening, as above, so below. For me, this is not explicit. This is just from my years of being a tarot reader, that the Queen of Swords is the minor to the major High Priestess. And to me, that is because the Queen of Swords is air and water, two elements that really represent truth, non-tangible, psychic, emotional, spiritual truth and divine wisdom, and very tangible, communicative, factual, logical truth. And she can hold both of those polarities in a harmonized way. High Priestess does the same thing. That's why. Anyway, so Virgo, this is you coming into some clarity. I feel like there's a word that wants to go before that. Clarity on what you really want, what you're really about, and how can I bring that to the table? How can I incorporate that into legacy and build it up and be authentic about it and not just be about the money or not just be about the materials or not just be about having it be a certain way or look a certain way? Go beyond the earthly plane, go beyond what you see and what is being seen and all of that. And even how people see you, there's a little bit of image stuff going on there too. And like I said, for some of you, there is a commitment that is revolving around this, whether it's getting into a commitment with somebody or leaving one to do so. Okay. Now, King of Pentacles came out, not King of Pentacles, sorry. Knight of Pentacles in reverse came out with Temperance. This is what's being tempered. How loyal or not loyal? How are we showing up or not showing up? How devoted are we or not devoted? How authentic are we or not? The Knight of Pentacles is the ride or die card. The Knight of Pentacles, if you want to look at it in a more evolved way, is kind of like a gatekeeper. It's kind of like a gatekeeper, right-hand man, nothing, how do I want to say? That's not the way to say it. The Knight of Pentacles represents consistency, loyalty, predictability, dependability. That is the right-hand man of the king and the queen. Something gets done, the Knight of Pentacles makes sure it gets done and make sure it gets done right. Gatekeeper, okay? With being in reverse, again, this is what needs to be balanced out. How are you living up to or not to this kind of energy in your own life? Authentically or not, right? So just emphasizing that. Overall, we do have the 5 of Cups. Ooh, to the 8. Which means there's a 3 of Cups there. There is something you need to let go here, Virgo, that is part of this facing yourself and facing your truth. And it's interesting too that it's coming through like this because you are clearly leaving something behind that once you looked up to or even found a lot of joy and promise and hope in. I want to say you looked up to it, which tells me it's something that you emotionally attach to as a hope or a wish even. We don't have any wish cards here, but it's just what I'm feeling. And maybe you're realizing it's not really for you. It feels a little bit like letting go of a wish and a hope, but only because you realize it's not authentic to who you are. The 5 to the 8, like I said, 3 of Cups is part of that, which is what you're leaving behind, but the 8 always goes to the 10. It always goes to happiness, and it leaves behind what is no longer fulfilling for you. Towards, whoa, 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 double whammy, the World and Judgment. No wonder you need some time alone. Virgo, you need some time alone. Both of these cards are very karmic. Both of these cards are very heavily influences major life choices and major life cycles. I'm talking like once every 30-year kind of life milestone kind of cycles and things. But Judgment to me is usually spirit being like, hello, like spirit really being on our butts, essentially. Some people see Judgment too as literally like a resurrection, something coming to life or something being put to rest once and for all. There's all kinds of ways to look at the Judgment card. It's very multifaceted. But to have both of these cards here, this is about walking into a timeline or version of yourself that is very authentic and is much more connected to self than has been previously. And heading towards happiness, which means also letting go of what has been superficial happiness or striving for joy because you thought it was going to make you happy, but it has nothing to do with who you really are. Ooh. Almost like striving for things and trying to build up a life a certain way because that's what other people did, or because you just thought you were supposed to, is kind of the feeling I'm getting. A lot to come out in the first part, but let's go ahead and get into part 2. I don't know what else is going to come out here, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. So Virgos, if you're resonating with this reading, and I'm going to see you in part 2, I will see you over there. If this is where we're parting ways, I hope you really enjoyed this reading, and don't forget to check out website and podcast and all those other things too, and Patreon. There's a lot going on Patreon, and I hope this was very supportive for you on your journey. Take care, have a good night, and I'll see you later. Namaste.